Hello, and welcome to the Viva HR webinar, all about how to help you hire more efficiently while kind of going through some of our favorite recruiting hacks. There's a lot of different ways to approach hiring, and we found some very unique ways that companies, small, large, medium, can really take advantage of some automation, some tools to really increase their applicant flow and ultimately lead to better hires. So my name is Ryan Naylor. I am the CEO and founder of Viva HR, and I am super excited to be going through this with you today. It's seriously one of my passion projects in life is to help people find better jobs. And that really starts with you as the employers by helping display the right type of job, get people excited about the opportunity, and ultimately be the right fit for them. So today we're going to kind of go through a little bit of a journey, and I'm really excited to walk through it. But before we do, I wanted to share just a little bit of a backstory, kind of who I am and why you're listening to me. I think it's important to understand kind of why I say the things that I say. What it really comes down to is over 10 years ago, I started a digital marketing agency where we were working with small business owners, strategically helping them grow with lead generation through this crazy concept of creating a website and getting away from yellow pages. And although that sounded, well, right now it sounds super easy to do, gosh, that was a really hard task. That was a hard obstacle to overcome, is why a contractor or why a service-based business would give up their first page, full page ad in yellow pages. I mean, that was the legitimate process of getting new business. And as we started our marketing agency, compelling these small businesses to say, hey, let's get in and start building websites that are optimized for Google search results, we started seeing some clients have some great success. But what that did is that ultimately led to a combination of problems. They maybe weren't ready for that success. They're having a hard time hiring. And so while I'm going through this debacle of really helping business owners attract more clients, I actually was invited to be on a show called Shark Tank. It was in season 3, right after they had been cut from ABC. Their season did not meet their expectations, but ABC, the last minute, renewed season 3. They had had some contract disputes with some other programming. And so Friday nights at prime time, they renewed their show Shark Tank. And I was lucky enough to have a side project that I was building a website while watching Sports Center at nights on my couch with my laptop. I was lucky enough to be able to get a product that was selling quite rapidly online, and went on the show, and it was a great experience. The episode probably doesn't portray that as much. Did not get a deal. That's always the first question everyone asks. But I'll tell you what, there was a tremendous amount of learning that went on by going through that process. And the most important thing that I learned was to really be passionate about what you're doing. The Sharks posed some really difficult questions to me when I was on that TV show. And the biggest one being is, well, frankly, they were asking me some very direct questions, and I just didn't care. My passion wasn't in alignment with it. Directly following the shooting of that episode, I was back in my hotel room and I started writing out everything that drives me. What is it that motivates me? And what it really came down to is my passion for the family unit. I'm super passionate about helping families be stronger and grow together. I think the world is a better place when families are in place. And unfortunately, at that very time, the unemployment rate was at double digits. There was a lot of families going through some major problems and turmoil. Not only were they unemployed, but a majority of Americans felt underemployed. And that financial tension and pressure inside the home really can be very disruptive to everybody involved in the family. And so I wanted to do something about it. So I started localwork.com, and there's a fun little newspaper clipping of us kind of when we were launching here in Phoenix, Arizona. We started a job board really to help people get jobs quicker, and we wanted to be a little bit different and disruptive and leverage some technology. And it was fantastic. We got a tremendous amount of attention. We were on TV 200 plus times, probably closer to 300 or 400 at this point. We helped over 30,000 companies hire and over 100,000 people find new jobs. And that was incredibly a great run. But what I was able to do is I was able to take a lot of those lessons learned from helping all those companies hire that many people. I really found that there was about 5% of our companies that were much different than everyone else. 95% of the companies competed for the lower tier talent. There was about 5% of our clients that always got better candidates. They got more candidates, and they were also very happy with the experience. So I'm going to dive in and share with you a little bit more about Viva HR and how we can help you with your hiring. So here we go. Let's dive right in. Some of the biggest pain points that you're facing is finding quality talent. And I would bet a lot of money that is the majority of all small businesses and growing businesses across America. You're really having a hard time hiring. What's crazy about this is a statistic and kind of a survey by Kelly Services that was a couple of years ago. Now, fast forward when we're experiencing the strongest employment that we have ever had in this country, at least dating back to 50 plus years ago when they were taking records of this. And so as the labor market continues to get tighter and tighter, we have to really shift our way of thinking. We have to understand millennials. We need to understand this next generation of workforce. What is it that they really care about? What is it that if they are deciding to work for you or work for your competitor, what is going to be the trigger? What is going to be the thing that gets them to come to you or gets them to go to them? And look at this. Out of 13 items on what job seekers value, you cannot see compensation. You don't see it. This is absolutely incredible. This survey by Deloitte really brings things to light that shows, hey, when you're promoting your job, a lot of times we start promoting compensation as the very first thing. Hey, come work for us, you're going to make more money. Well, ultimately, that's going to lead to a bad hire because that's not addressing the core value that job seekers are seeking. So we're going to talk through a little bit today on how do we deliver what job seekers value in our recruitment strategy to ultimately get more applicants and more A players along the way. So we're going to go through 9 hacks, starting with hack number 1. We're going to be in and out of here in less than the next 20 minutes. We've got 9 hacks to go through. I'm going to fly through them. I'm super excited about this because every single one of these 9 hacks is exactly what my successful companies have done over the last 8 years as we've been working through this process. It doesn't matter when our unemployment rate was double digits, and it doesn't matter today when the unemployment in some markets where our clients are sitting is in the 2% category. How are you recruiting in that? Well, we'll show you. There's a lot of tricks along the way. The first one is get your scorecard out. What a lot of companies do is they have a job scorecard. This is rating the key responsibilities for every single job. Now, rather than writing your job description about ultimately how great the company is, which is important, but always talking about skills and responsibilities, we need to lead with, here is your KPI. What is it that's going to measure success? When you think about this generation of millennials and you look at the video game market and you think about why are these video game addictions happening, when they really have to go through major obstacles over and over and over and over again, it's clearly defined and it becomes competitive, it becomes a driver because they want to see success. They want to feel like they're being validated. They got 3 stars on that round, or they got the most crowns in this league. You think about whatever game it is, there is a clear and defined objective that they need to get results for, and they are rewarded against it. That's exactly what a KPI is. and it needs to be addressed in the job description. You would be amazed at how elusive our job descriptions have become because we're afraid of pushing people away. I challenge you to shift that way of thinking. Put in your KPI. Talk about, hey, what is the desired result from this position? Here's how we're going to measure success. And you'll see on my example of a scorecard, we have for this position an account executive, a sales role. We're going to measure against how many new sales are you generating? What does it take to be in the green category of our company? Just like in every video game, if you start seeing yourself in red, that ultimately means you're probably losing in the game. And you're going to do whatever it takes to practice, to play more hours, whatever it is that you're going to do to get into the green category. Same thing goes with KPIs. We need to make this public, but we need to make sure that we address it in the job posting. And you will find that your skills, your traits, your responsibilities for the position align with the KPI. And that full level of transparency going into applying for the job is a major difference maker in converting candidates to applicants. The second one I want to talk about is SEO. I told you before, that's my background. I am an ultimate nerd when it comes to search engine optimization. I love it. I think it is critical for every business owner to fully understand. Let me explain one core competency. You need to first put yourself in the head of your target audience, those job seekers. When they are putting in a job on Indeed, in Google search, on ZipRecruiter, whatever platform they're using to search for a job, you need to make sure your job title aligns with what your audience is searching for. Now, I know those really funny, creative job titles are exciting to use, but if nobody is searching for them, you will not get any candidates. So keep it specific. This example is a screenshot that I literally just took from Google, and I went to Google's job search tool that they've published. Google for Jobs is transforming the way candidates are looking for jobs. But you put in inside sales jobs in Phoenix, and guess what's producing? Every one of these titles, look what it says: inside sales, inside sales, inside sales. The sales position is aligned with the job title. And you'll see a lot of times that the job title is also in the job description multiple times. Take the time to make sure your job title is the job title, and it's in the job summary, and it's in the job skills and responsibilities. Every time you're going to talk about this position, label it as inside sales representative, or you're hiring for a medical office assistant, make sure that is labeled throughout the job description to get more keyword relevancy. Hack number 3, let's talk about automation for a second. A lot of times, and of course, I'm going to just screenshot a couple things from our tool. You can use this on any tool that you guys are using, but there's systems like Zapier. Zapier is a one-to-many integration and automation software. So you can take your applicant tracking system or your job posting, and you can create automations. So every time a job is posted inside your Viva HR account, for example, it will automatically push to, our example here is Facebook groups. Think about that. Rather than just going to your Facebook business page where people don't see it anyway, get that inside some Facebook groups. Here in Arizona, I can't speak for every market across the country, but here in Arizona, there are career and jobs Facebook groups that have more than 6 figures of members inside those groups. You have over 100,000 people sitting inside a Phoenix jobs Facebook group. That is a tremendous audience to get in front of. Now automate that. Get that published out there. The second example we use is using MailChimp. You can use this and apply it towards any email automation tool that you're using, but when you post a job, automate an email, automate a drip into your existing database of customers or your existing database of job seekers that you've worked with in the past. Number 4, take a step back. Now this is going to sound counterintuitive because I own a job board and I own a job posting software company, but I'm going to tell you there's a lot of power in not relying 100% on job boards. And the reason is because there is a very specific audience out there that are maybe involved with their own tribe, so to speak. As Seth Godin would say, every person belongs to a tribe. For this example on the left, this is going to be your community college registry. There's community colleges that have very specific trade programs. Get your job in front of that audience on the community college level. Go contact your local community college or your local trade school and physically get over there and put up a job posting in their cafeteria, in their hall, in congregation areas. See if they have their own job board that they run internally. Get your job manually in front of their career service advisors. The other thing is look at church groups. Think about it. This is a picture of a church group in Phoenix called Career Connectors. They get together once a month and they have great attendance, and it's people wanting to empower themselves to learn new skill sets to get a better job. What a great opportunity in front of a very captive audience to go and talk to them about your employment opportunities. This is not just unique to Arizona. There are churches all around the country that have career support groups where they maybe not have hundreds of people there, they're going to have dozens, and they're going to be a very targeted audience that could also create referrals and recommendations for you. Number 5, get your job everywhere. You've seen it all the time. Every time you go to a restaurant now with today's labor market, the way that it is, there's a now hiring sign or sticker or some sort of element promoting it. But I think a lot of us outside the retail space forget to utilize it. But think about the driving industry, the trucks, every company vehicle having a now hiring, a very clear call to action. And rather than stating now hiring, I might challenge you to say something that's a little bit more thought provoking. Have you thought about enhancing your career with XYZ, meaning that's a value proposition? Going back to what job seekers value the most, talk about work flexibility. They talk about leadership. They talk about training. They don't talk about compensation. So use these stickers and these signs, not just to say now hiring, because that's what everybody else is doing, but take the time to promote hiring with 100 hours of dedicated training and support to advance your career in XYZ. So be very specific about it. Number 6, employee evangelists. Oh, this is probably where I'm going to spend the most time in all of my hacks because I love these 2 examples. I'm going to first start with a client of ours, Night Transportation. This is one of the largest logistics and truck driving companies around the country. You want to talk about turnover? This is an industry that has over 120% annual employee turnover. That means every year they're replacing every one of their drivers plus 20%. I don't understand how companies can sustain that business model. Well, Knight took a little bit different approach, and they said, how can we change this to create not only employee retention, but leverage our current employees to deliver a pipeline of great candidates? And so they created this Twitter account, Instagram account, all these social media accounts called Drive Night. And what this does is it empowers the drivers, no matter where they are across the country, to take pictures of their vehicle with or without them in the picture and submit it to the organization. And I love this because it's empowering them. Now imagine if you're in your tribe, and your tribe is other truck drivers, and you start seeing a continual collection of photos of your friends or your peers in the truck driving world, all posting these amazing selfies with the hashtag Drive Night. Isn't that going to drive your curiosity just that much to say, what is it that they have that I don't have? Look at this community. Look at the camaraderie. So Knight did this as a way to drive retention, to create a sense of purpose and alignment with your other peers around the country. But what they also did is it created a pipeline. It created this ability where people started getting curious as they're driving for other truck driving companies, got curious, and it wanted them to get into, learn a little bit more about Knight Transportation. Now, the other example on employee evangelist is a company called Think Parallax, based out of Seattle. This is a phenomenal company, software company. But think about what I just said, software company in Seattle. What a tremendous time you're going to have recruiting for software developers. You're in the backyard to Microsoft, to Amazon. Some of the world's best technology companies are right there in Seattle. How are you going to compete for talent? Well, what I love that they did is they created a model where they said, when you become an employee for Think Parallax, guess what? You're going to go on a paid sabbatical, and it's got to involve serving people. Now, think about that. Think about how exciting that is to get a job there, because you're automatically day one. You start by going on vacation, paid for by your new employer. The only caveat, you have to take a digital journal of these pictures, and you need to share it across your social media platforms. Don't tell anyone in the company where you're going, and we're going to guess. And so now all these photos are popping up of the new employees around the world doing good, serving organizations that they are really excited about, all using the same hashtag. Their current employees now get to follow along, and they get to guess where this employee is. And there's some sort of reward if you can guess where they are in the world at the time and who can guess it first. But talk about evangelism for a new employer. Think about it. All their friends, all their other software developer friends are watching them get a new job, and day one, they're out traveling. They're out getting a paid vacation and paid time, a paid vacation. That's incredible. You talk about a really strategic way of driving in new pipeline. This is a great way. In today's world, when recruiters are taking 25 to 30% annualized salary commission for placements of software, and you're able to put a few $1,000s into the pocket of a new hire and get them to recruit for you, it's a tremendous way. You save a lot of money, and it's doing a lot of branding along the way. Number 7, take the time to build nurture automations. A lot of times as we're getting candidates in our pipeline, we may get hundreds, we may get 2 candidates. But over time, if you're not hiring those candidates, it's great to separate them from, are they not a right fit ever, or are they not the right fit just now? And if so, what is it? And creating tags or the ability to segment your audience of your job seekers. Because in 1 year from now, you have a new sales position open up. And maybe you did have a great candidate before for that sales director, but his experience was just shy of what you needed. Well, a year later, that person might still be interested in working for you. They had a great experience. They loved their interview. They loved the team. They loved the office, but they just got beat by the other guy. Well, a year later, if we're doing it right and we're responding and nurturing to our database of job seekers, we can get those candidates to come back into our pipeline down the road with more skill sets, more work experience, and that is a quick and easy way to drive more job seekers to your job as soon as you post it. Number 8, leverage your customers. If you have great customers, don't you think they'd be excited for you with your growth? Don't you think they'd be excited to see and recommend one of their friends to work for you? I believe they would be. And I think big brands, and I use this example from Evernote, they do a great job. They promote their new hiring opportunities in front of their existing customer base. On every email that they send out to their customers, they promote the fact that they are hiring. In fact, they will even do dedicated email blasts saying, thank you for being a great customer. You understand our core values and what it means for us to deliver high quality performance software. If you know anybody that aligns with our core values, that's got the following skill sets, send them over. And if they get hired, we'll send you back a $100 Amazon gift card. That is a great referral pipeline that you can leverage very quickly. Think about the bond that you just created. They recommend over somebody that you end up hiring. Don't you think there's going to be a little bit of a connection even further with your brand? I definitely do. Number 9, and our last, AI advertising. Artificial intelligence is driving every mechanism of marketing and advertising across the web. Now, if you're not utilizing it for your hiring, you're missing out on a major opportunity. I got a screenshot here in front of us on the left-hand side that's detailed targeting. What this is it's specifying what type of person we want to advertise in front of. Now, keeping with our example of a sales director, sales manager, I put in there that they must have some sales management interest. We're looking for behavioral alignment that Facebook can identify with. And then you can see I add in there job titles that match with sales director. Now look at that size, 115,000 people match my exact criteria of they have a job title of sales director. In a tight labor market, we have to get creative. One of the greatest ways we can do that is we can find passive job seekers. We can leverage advertising platforms that can target based on behavior or persona matching to deliver the right message. You'll see the example of UPS doing this exact same thing. When they're hiring for an account executive, they know how to showcase, hey, here's an example of a wonderful employee named Candace. Look how happy she is. Look at what she loves about our company. You will too. And they create this bandwagon approach in their advertising with nurture ads and targeting ads to drive more candidates in the pipeline. There's a number of different platforms that can do this, Facebook being one of the largest as far as scale and opportunity to get candidates the quickest. But don't look past LinkedIn, even Google Ads as really great opportunities for persona alignment. Leveraging the artificial intelligence of these softwares to deliver your ad to the target audience is a tremendous way to boost your recruiting. Well, I want to share with you just for a few minutes here, what is Viva HR? We are recruitment marketing software. Our job is to take your job description and get it out in front of as many job seekers as possible. And our core is we believe in company culture. I told you before how I'm super passionate about people getting the right job, not feeling underemployed. Well, we feel like transparency does this. By creating a transparent job posting where you can put in images, you can put in videos, you can have chat bots where you can engage with candidates quicker. It aligns with core values and the values of the job seeker faster than any other way out there. And so we like to take your old job description and convert it into a Viva job description and get a higher conversion rate. We automatically send your job out to literally dozens and dozens of job boards. We have premium job sites, but the secret sauce of Viva, our organic reach. We are all about optimizing so you don't have to pay extra per click. Your job automatically gets into the search results in an organic fashion to drive you better click-through rates. When you're using that job title that matches within the job description and we get a keyword relevance in there, and all of a sudden we layer on top of it multimedia content to drive better engagement, you're gonna go from a 5% conversion rate to over a 27% conversion rate. That is unheard of in our industry, and it's done with the power of leveraging company culture. So what I wanted to do today, we are so passionate about our software. If you are interested in just getting a demo, just walking through it with an account executive, learning to see if this is a good fit for you or not, we're gonna give you 60% off. And you don't have to sign up on the spot. It's 30 days to make a decision, but just for getting a demo, you get 60% off. It's an incredible opportunity, and it's our way to be able to show you firsthand how powerful recruitment marketing automation can be for your company. It's going to save you a lot of time, which ultimately leads to saving you money and better hires along the way. That is it from me. Again, my name is Ryan Naylor, and as promised, we are in and out in 30 minutes. But again, can't thank you enough for taking the time to jump through our webinar with us today. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us online. My email is ryan@vivahr.com. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. But more importantly is I'm really excited to help more people find the right job. Thank you.